In the cathedral of football, where dreams collide with destiny, one man moved like a whisper in a hurricane. Zinedine Zidane. His feet wove symphonies. His vision parted defenses like a prophet's hand through the sea. He was elegance incarnate, yet beneath the grace burned a fire, forged in the crucible of Marseille streets, tempered by triumphs and scarred by a single seismic act. This is the story of a boy who became a legend, an artist who wielded a warrior's heart, and a man whose brilliance was both his crown and his cross. To know Zidane is to know football itself, its beauty, its burden, its humanity. Marseille, 1972. La Castellane, a labyrinth of tower blocks on the city's northern edge, was home to dreamers and survivors. Here, on June 23rd, Zinedine Zidane was born to Smail and Malika, Algerian immigrants who fled the poverty of Kabylia for a new life in France. The youngest of 5 siblings, Zizou, as they called him, grew up in a world of hard-won dignity. France in the 1970s was a nation fractured. Post-colonial tensions simmered, and North African families like the Zidanes faced suspicion, prejudice, and the weight of proving their place. The streets of La Castellane were Zidane's first pitch. A scuffed ball, a patch of dirt, and a crowd of kids became his universe. His brother Nordine remembers a boy who'd spend hours mastering his touch, the ball an extension of his body. He wasn't the loudest or the fastest, but his feet spoke a different language, fluid, instinctive, as if he saw angles invisible to others. A flick to evade a tackle, a pass that curved like a painter's brushstroke. Racism was a constant shadow. Taunts of beurre, a slur for North African immigrants, followed him, stinging more than he let on. His mother Malika, the family's anchor, taught him resilience. Never bow your head, she'd say. Zidane's response was quiet but fierce. He channeled his anger into control, his pain into precision. Football wasn't just play. It was defiance, identity, a way to rise above. At 10, he joined his first club, US Saint Henri, then Foresta Marseille. Scouts noticed a boy who played with the poise of a veteran. By 14, destiny called. AS Cannes, a modest club with a sharp eye for talent, offered him a place in their academy. Leaving La Castellane meant leaving family, but it also meant a chance to rewrite his story. In 1986, Zidane arrived at Cannes, a coastal club far from the glamour of Paris or Monaco. Under coach Jean Fernandez, he was a raw talent, gangly, shy, but with a touch that mesmerized. At 16, he made his Ligue 1 debut on May 20th, 1989, against Nantes. Cannes lost, but Zidane's brief cameo hinted at something extraordinary. His first touch was a caress, his movement, but dance. Fernandez later said, he didn't play the game, he sculpted it. By 1992, Zidane joined Bordeaux, a club with bigger ambitions. Ligue 1 was evolving, and France's football scene was hungry for heroes. Here, Zidane's game deepened. He wasn't just a midfielder, he was a conductor, orchestrating play with a vision that seemed to stretch beyond the pitch. His passes weren't passes, they were invitations, threading through defenses with surgical precision. In the 1995-96 UEFA Cup, Zidane announced himself to Europe. Against Real Betis, he unleashed a 30-yard strike that screamed into the net, a goal that felt like a declaration. Bordeaux reached a final, only to fall to Bayern Munich. But Zidane's star was rising. Scouts from Italy and Spain filled notebooks with his name. Yet his temperament was a double-edged sword. The fire from La Castellane flickered. A red card for a rash tackle here, a flare of frustration there. His intensity, born of pride, could boil over. Off the pitch, he was reserved, almost elusive. He met Veronique, a Spanish-French dancer in Cannes, and their quiet love story grounded him. Marriage in 1994 and the birth of their first son, Enzo, gave him balance. Turin, 1996. Juventus was a colossus, a club where discipline met ambition. Under Marcello Lippi, Zidane entered Serie A league of tactical chess and unrelenting physicality. He wasn't just a player here. He was a project, molded by Italy's defensive crucible. Lippi saw in him a rare alchemy, the flair of an artist, the steel of a gladiator. Zidane's style was a revelation. He'd receive the ball with his back to goal, his body a fortress, his mind a map. A pirouette to escape a marker, a no-look pass to unlock a defense, a pause that made opponents freeze. His Marseille turn, a 360-degree spin born in the streets, became his signature, a move that felt like poetry in motion. In 1997 and 1998, he won Serie A titles, his play a masterclass in control. Against Ajax in the 1997 Champions League, he scored a curling free kick, his first major European statement. But the Champions League trophy eluded him. Losses to Borussia Dortmund in 1997 and Real Madrid in 1998 were bitter pills. Zidane later admitted, "Those defeats taught me hunger. Talent wasn't enough. You had to bleed for it." Off the pitch, he remained an enigma. He shunned the spotlight, preferring family dinners with Veronique and their growing sons. Yet the weight of his heritage never lifted. As a North African in Europe, every goal was a rebuttal to prejudice. Every misstep a chance for critics to pounce. His temper flared. A headbutt in a 1998 match against Hamburg earned him a ban. The warrior within was never far from the surface.